Ladies and gents, welcome back once more for the Brummies versus the Expendables. I'm Snoogs.
And I'm Robert Quadriguez. Pleasure to be announcing with you Snoogans today.
Pleasure to be here with you, mate. Right, we're off and ready to go as already. Flustercluck jamming for the Expendables.
And Rectangle, skater number 4 for the Crash Test Brummies, gets through very low, picking up lead jammer.
Little bit of showboat in there, some nice backward skating around that corner.
I believe he was skating backwards to make sure that there was no more threat from Matt Lovin.
So it's a fair thing to do.
Matt Lovin has been having an exceptional game all day. And a cheeky little tap there from Matt Lovin takes Rex to his knees and he calls off the jam.
But I do believe, yep, first points on the board for the Brummies. 4-point pass. The question is now, of course, Quaddy, can the Brummies beat this unbeaten streak that the Expendables are enjoying today?
They have had, I mean, the Expendables 3D have had an amazing series of games so far. A very strong team represented from teams from, we've got South Wales Silos, we've also got Abnorman from Team Island, we've got Flustercluck from the USA, we've also got some members of the Barrow Infernos on there.
Yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do.
A very strong team indeed. One of those up-and-coming teams that have got a lot of power behind them.
Just want to give a quick shout to Abnorman as well, bench coach for Portsmouth. No, my apologies, Plymouth City Roller Girls, who came second last week in the Heartland Series tournament overall. Booyah, go Plymouth. And almost like my encouragement shone through, Abnorman picking up lead jammer status over Carnage there, who has taken onto his backside and then picked up a cut track penalty.
Abnorman being recycled to the back of the pack, he resets, going up against a 2-wall of the Crash Test Bruce and Lee Fisher. Sorry, Slam Fisher.
Slam Fisher. When you said Lee, I was like, no. There's no pun there.
I can call him Lee, but...
You can, yeah. And Abnorman calling that jam means, of course, that with Carnage standing in the box, the Expendables will start on a power jam. Fair call. They put Fluster up to jam for this one.
Yeah, just a quick little update. If you were watching the game previous with the Power of Scotland, Wider McDye took an injury. We can confirm that Wider McDye has just sprained his ankle, and it was not a break as what might have appeared as a break. So all the best to Wider McDye, and I hope you rest up soon.
Yep, so glad to hear that was not a break. Meanwhile, back on the flat track, Flustercluck picking up lead jammer status, getting past Scotch and Riders. Strong 2-wall work between them, though.
Scotch recently been made captain of the Crash Test Brummies.
And I think fairly so. He's been on form today. It's been a while since I've had the fortune of seeing the Brummies play, and Scotch and Riders in particular have actually come along a hell of a long way. Flustercluck, meanwhile, making short work of that 2-wall that was up front, slipping around, picking up that natural grand slam as Carnage heads back to the penalty box. That Skate Hut sponsored penalty box, no less. Flustercluck now up against it's Scotch and Riders again, but now they've got that bridge from KG and Slam Fisher. Carnage back, making his way back on track, being recycled back past that Roller Derby City jammer line by Tonka.
Carnage getting very low. Only got to get around the hips there with not the jammer, and he's through on his initial pass.
Yeah, unfortunately, no points there for Carnage, but still quite an interesting feat to manage to get past Not So Gentle, who again had a great day so far today.
Very agile skater. It does mean that the Crash Test Brummies are going to be filled in a fresh jammer to the Roller Derby City jammer line, and that is skater number 27, Silverback.
Love Silverback. Love him. And you're right, yeah, that is roll call up for the Expendables. If you're doing the Roller Derby drinking game, it will be now's an opportunity for you to have a shot. Brummies obviously putting the first points on the board. Expendables now stretching out in the lead, 24 points to 3.
Brummies will be starting with a blocker in the box. That's Rodders. Expendables 3D will have the blocker advantage in this head jam.
Jam is on, and it's one of those slow jam starts. Pack not moving much at all. Those jammers trying to find those gaps. Beautiful. I think proof there that slow and steady wins the race. There was no flair, no fancy work, just some smooth one-footed transitions, getting him along that fine space he had on the inside line.
Silverback again manages to make another space on the inside and pulls off the jam. I think he's learned his lesson, because in one of the earlier games, unfortunately, he picked up his fourth penalty, which in these tight 30-minute games does eject you from the game.
Absolutely.
Lining up on the roller Derby City Jammer line, we have returning skater number 4, Rex Tangle for the Crash Test Brummies.
And he is up against skater number 045, Ab Norman for the Expendables 3D. Both jammers getting very low, but coming up against a full bank of 8 blockers, empty skate hut penalty box.
Rex Tangle being recycled all the way around the hips of Lino, yeah. Ab Norman fighting against a full wall of the Crash Test Brummies.
Neil Halado taking a hit that sends him halfway back away from the pack, but Rex Tangle picking up a penalty. I didn't catch what that was, unfortunately.
It was too quick, I didn't see it. He literally just made it very straight to the penalty line.
Ab Norman going mano a mano with Scotch and Rodders. It's not a place I'd like to be, if I'm honest with you.
Rodders being placed by Red, White and Bruce at the front of the pack. Scotch and Bad Daddy Young looking to bridge him out, give him more opportunity to hold him. Ab Norman going with Scotch managing to close his hips in, taking Ab Norman to the outside. Ab Norman recycling himself. Meanwhile, Rex Tangle returns to track and is through in his initial pass. Scotch
throwing a massive hit to Lionel, yeah, picking up a clockwise block, I believe that was. But as he went off, he kind of nodded, totally worth it, because that was the opportunity Rex Tangle needed as he got out of the box. Absolute confusion on track, slipped around the outside, totally unseen.
So we've got 22 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Current score as they stand. The Crash Test Brummies on 7. The Expendables 3D on 24 points.
Expendables with a 2-to-1 pack advantage. 2 Brummies blockers in the box, but Illbilly and KG looking to hold back Disasteroid.
Carnage, skating number 10 for the Crash Test Brummies, being taken to the outside and being recycled to the back of the pack.
Yeah, Tonka recycling in there, but picking up a forearms penalty in the meantime. KG and Illbilly doing a nice takeoff on that turn 1 right at the start of the jam, taking Disasteroid off on the inside and recycling him all the way back round to turn 4. Really managed to kill some time, and KG, beautiful footwork. How low did he just get?
Carnage is able to get so low he can literally slide his fingers on the track. He's able to get around a hit from Logan, but unable to pick up any points on that jam. In this next jam on the Roller Derby City Jammer line, we have Rex Tangle.
And somebody who I've been a little bit in awe of today, if I'm honest, jamming against him, number 5, Fish.
Fish is a skater. He's extremely agile, but he's also got that power.
Yeah.
During their game against the Tampere Rolling Bros, he hit their pivot to the point where he actually rolled in the air.
Yeah, that was an incredible hit.
Devastating hit. A huge hit from Rodders takes Fish to the outside.
Rodders finding the gap there to recycle him right back past the pivot line. Rex Tangle taking hell from Neil Halado and Chronic up front.
Now again, I mean, if we talk about Rodders and Scotch, we need to talk about Chronic and Neil Halado for Expendables. A very devastating two-piece.
Watching the Expendables last game with some of my teammates, I pointed out to up-and-coming quad 808 El Beardo, I could watch Neil Halado skate all day long. and I'm not going to get the chance to. Picks up a back block there, heading to the skate hut penalty box.
So it's a shame he was looking to force the cut on Rectangle, didn't get the opportunity.
Rectangle has been knocked off and recycled so many times. I'm starting to wonder what percentage of him is still Rectangle.
To be fair, he's just taking his time a bit too much when he's recycling himself. He's not showing the tenacity to get back on track.
I mean, in Rex's defense, this is a long day, and he has played some hella physical games so far.
Definitely. I mean, he's a small jammer, but he's never had that problem before. If anything, he's a very bendy jammer, a very agile jammer. But like I say, if you're going to burn time in these games, it's only going against you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure there as Rex went on the outside, got taken off by Chronic. It looked like he came in safely, but from the angle that we've got here, you're never quite sure. But he did pick up a cutting penalty. That jam reaching its natural conclusion. I may have misread that. There was a lot of stuff going on. No, there he is, going into the box. And that.
So this will mean obviously the Expendables 3D will be signed on a power jam.
Yep, that is Flustercluck starting on a power jam now, straight into it. Illbilly on the outside, getting all up in his grill.
Red, white, and bruised is the last point of defense. Flustercluck gets her around, picking up lead jammer. Captain Cageman skating number KO, picking up a cut track, making his way to the skate hut penalty box.
Fluster coming back round, connects a massive hit on Rectangle emerging from the penalty box. So both jammers in that pack now. Of course, Rex yet to make his initial pass. By the looks of things, KG has already fouled out this game. Still 17 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. It's getting to that point in the day, Quaddy.
It is. I mean, obviously, when you take these tournaments into consideration, playing 6 games against teams of this caliber, it can take a very physical toll on you. So something as simple as just picking up a couple of penalties, especially when you've only got to get 4 to foul out,
yeah,
quite easily mount up.
Flustercluck taking a real beating from Slam Fisher.
Red, One, and Bruise comes in and puts a massive sweep on Disasteroid. A huge hit.
Wow.
Helps Rectangle emerge from the pack.
And now he's got a jammer to face off against. And that jam, probably for the best, reaching its natural conclusion. Didn't look like Flustercluck was going to call that jam anytime soon.
Now, in the space of like 3 jams, we've seen a massive point explosion for the Expendables 3D. The Crash Test Brummies on 7 points, the Expendables 3D on 70 points.
Yowza. .16 minutes and 12 seconds left of this game. Abnorman jabbing for the Expendables.
And for the Crash Test Brummies, we have skater number 35, Riley Coyote, his first jam in this game.
I can't help it whenever I hear Riley's name to just hear it as Riley Coyote. Abnorman has emerged victorious as lead jammer on this jam. Riley Coyote getting seriously physical with these blockers, ducking and diving and juking and dodging, trying to make his way through.
They are putting up a fearsome wall. He is doing his very best to try and get around at all points, but it seems like they're almost trying to force him to the edge in order to recycle him. And that's what they've just been able to do. Lino recycling Riley right to the back of the pack.
And Abnorman taking a massive hit, knocking him to the inside and calling off that jam.
Okay, so that's our we have these quick turnarounds, 2 minutes. Both jammers are getting extremely low. Right, ready for that whistle to go. Silverback is takes a small stumble. Roll call looking for an opportunity on the outside. Now, this is interesting. Silverback has managed to get through, but unfortunately, the panty has slipped off his helmet.
I can see it.
The Expendables are guarding the panty. Silverback was looking to crawl in order to get the panty, but unfortunately has picked up a penalty.
I believe he picked up a low block. I think there was an Expendable that did go down around the same area he was crawling. That does, of course, mean roll call. He's on. He's got all the things. He's got lead jammer status and he's got power jam.
And he's just picked up 5 points as well.
That's ticking off the checklist right there.
Roll call shrugs off a hit from Rodders and picks up another 5 points for the Expendables 3D.
The Brummies walling up solid up front.
Silverback returning the track, picking up the jammer panty.
Tonka trying to break up that wall, throwing himself at Red, White and Bruise and basically just bouncing off. Silverback back on track, making short work of those Expendables. Ducking and diving, but he does pick up a penalty. And it looks like that was a cut track.
After picking up 5 points, ensuring that the Expendable 3D will start the next jam in a power jam. So we currently have 13 minutes and 17 seconds left. The current scores as they stand, though, the Brummies still, unfortunately, on 7 points, and the Expendables 3D on 90 points.
I think this may be the biggest deficit we've had so far today. I could be wrong. There's been a lot of points scored today.
Yeah. One of the biggest scores so far has been about 140 points, I believe.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's power jams like this that are going to ensure that the Expendables are going to pick up more points.
Absolutely, but great wall work from the Brummies, managing to hold back Disasteroid and even knock him off and take him back, saving valuable seconds for Silverback, who is now back on track. Oh, for a moment there I thought Silverback was out of the box and lead jammer. Massive hit, taking Disasteroid off his feet and recycling him right back round to turn 2. Silverback is out, but he is not lead jammer. I can only assume that it was a no pass, no penalty, meaning lead is still open, but Disasteroid yet to make his initial pass. Silverback now scoring.
No, lead jammer has been awarded to Silverback.
Ah, missed that.
Jammer referee wanting to check. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after that injury time, which unfortunately affected Disasteroid of the Expendables 3D. In the time that we were out, Disasteroid was seen by GBEMS, who have got him back on his feet and have taken him away from the game for further examination. So all the best to Disasteroid.
Absolutely. He did get up and walk out of his own accord, though. There was no stretching or anything involved, thankfully. So, as always, massive thanks to our GBEMS for being here to look after us. But action back on track. These guys are back out after a quick warm-up. Fish, number 5 for the Expendables, is your lead jammer. Rex Tangle taking some big hits trying to get through the pack.
Huge, devastating hit there by Chronic onto Rex Tangle. Takes him to his knees, but he is back up, looking for an opportunity around. Tries to go for... right, okay, he went to go for an apex jump, but Matt Lovin was in the way, and so gets a blocking out of bounds and is off to the penalty box. Power jam to the Expendables 3D.
Nice footwork by Fish. A couple of sort of 180 jumps and turns. See him get through the pack. Scotch trying to chase him down. Knows that he should just let it go. Let it go. Sorry.
Being goated at the back of the pack, tries to cause interference with Fish. Fish looking on the inside to get through. Delivers a huge hit to Riley Coyote. Gets around on the outside, picking up a full 5 points.
That does mean the Expendables have broken the century on this game. 110 points to the Brummies 9. It's been a hard game for the Brummies.
And still 10 minutes, 14 seconds left on this game clock.
Rectangle trying to step his way through that wall, but Lion O'Yea and Neil Hilado zipping up any available space.
Rectangle being recycled all the way around the hips of Matt Levin.
Matt Levin trying to dig in with his hips, but not quite connecting, but he does manage to get back through the pack and right up to where Rectangle was about to emerge, blocking him off.
Another 5 in the sky for Fish, and he pulls off the jam.
Roll call and Carnage now up to jam.
But hey, we've got an empty penalty box.
We do. And as I look at the pack, seeing when it's all mixed and combined, I can't help but thinking that looks like a big old pack of peas and sweet corn.
Well, you know, we like to keep it vegan friendly here.
Absolutely. The peculiar things that float through your head when you're flagging on tourney day. Carnage, though, not flagging on tourney day, breaking through to get that lead jammer status for the Brummies. Crowd went a little bit wild there. Definitely a boost required.
Definitely. Massive crowd reaction there to Carnage, who really made a name for himself at the recent Men's European Cup in Newcastle.
Can I also just factor in that roll call has now been taken off and recycled 3 times. Still yet to make his initial pass. Great job, Brummies.
Really strong play there between Slam Fisher and Hillbilly.
Carnage has made his way through for a natural Grand Slam. Roll call still not out of the pack. So Brummies have broken double figures, which is always a nice little boost to have.
Yeah, Roll Call is actually playing 5th blocker at the moment, and he's trying to corner Carnage and take him off track, which he does. Carnage now having to go all the way around the hips of Roll Call.
In the words of Scooby-Doo, Ruh-roh.
Carnage not wanting to be drawn back behind Roll Call trying to take him all the way to the back of the pack.
And I'm about to say, if Roll Call's not careful, he's going to get himself eaten back into that pack. Jam reaching its natural conclusion there.
No, Carnage was not buying what Roll Call was selling.
Carnage was all like, I'm an Eskimo, I don't need your ice.
A nice little hook there on the track. We've got skater 27, that's Silverback.
And he is facing up against, I think that might be Flustercluck.
That is one of those names you really have to be careful with, isn't it?
It is, it really is.
Silverback at the front of the pack, just facing off against 2 Expendables, extremely good at waterfalling to the front to make as much opposition as possible.
And Silverback picking up a forearms penalty just on the outside there, heading to that skate hut penalty box. But Scotch is taking off Fluster, recycling him back. He may be on a power jam, but he's yet to emerge as lead jammer, and those Brummies aren't going to let him have it easy.
2 Brummies hit the deck, Fluster through, picking up lead jammer. All the Expendables going to cause absolute mayhem to get Flustercook through. A no pass, no penalty. Flustercook facing off against Bad Daddy and he gets through, picking up a full 5 points.
Silverback out the pack. Did take some contention from the Expendables blockers, but does manage to race around the outside. to pick up another 4 points.
We have Rex Tangle for the Crash Test Brummies.
And that is Fish for the Expendables. I do need to clarify that that was not a 4-point pass that Silverback picked up, because, of course, he got sent off during his initial pass. So that was his initial pass that he made. I do apologise for those of you who may be strategizing at home. Is that a word?
Yeah,
strategizing.
No, strategizing.
Oh, no, I was talking about stats.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I just made something up.
I like it.
Yeah, we'll run with it. Strategizing at home. Rex Tangle getting physical at the back with Neil Halado with that beautiful positional blocking that we've seen so much of today. Meanwhile, Fish up front does take lead.
No pack called. Rex Tangle going one-on-one with Chronic. Neil Halado and Chronic working together to put the hurting on Rex Tangle.
Rex Tangle with actually what was a pretty nice chest-to-chest hit on Chronic there. Did manage to shift him. Neil Halado, though, managing to take Tangle off and back.
Points to the Crash Test Brummies, 130 points to the Expendables. Say hello to one of our sponsors, and that is in the form of Roller Derby City. Our Roller Derby owned and operated. All the team kit and apparel that we make is printed by skaters for the skaters. They are making fully sublimated team kits for the likes of Team England. Pop over to their stall or on their website and ask for details. And come and check out their new glow-in-the-dark t-shirts and sleeveless tops. Roller Derby City are proud sponsors of the Expendables 3D at BEARDi and had an awesome time making their 3D t-shirts.
Awesome.
I'm a proud owner of one, and I put my 3D glasses on and checked it out, and I have actually got like their logo flashing out at me.
That is fantastic. Meanwhile, back on the flat track, Carnage picking up what I believe was a cutting penalty. Meanwhile, Hits and Crash picks up lead and apparently calls off the jam. But that does, of course, mean that the Expendables will start on a power jam.
3 minutes. And there's 3 minutes left in this final half.
Deadly Nedley, which in my head I hear as Deadly Nedley, like something out of The Simpsons.
Hidely ho neighbor.
Hidely hodly, let me hit you with my hips. Massive, massive hit from Illbilly to Nedley. All the L's up in there.
Deadly Nedley gets straight back up though, finds a way through the pack, picking up 5 points for the Expendables 3D. Carnage back on track, coming up against the chest of Lino, yeah. Carnage bends back on himself like he's in the Matrix, recycles himself around the hips of Xavier Bacon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are witnessing the next stage in jamming, bullet time jamming. That was insane. How did he stay on his feet? Lino, yeah, looks mildly confused as to why he didn't just land flat on his back. Carnage.
Oh. Spine works with the natural laws of physics. So, it's like a weeble wobble.
Maybe it's the symbiote matter.
Carnage working his way through the pack, gets around the hips of Chronic, manages to get so low that he dodges a hit from Lino, yeah. Side surfs round and emerges through the pack to the crowd's applause.
I was going to say, and the crowd goes wild. Nearly lost his balance there as he came around that corner, but again, getting so low, he managed to kind of tap the ground, keep his balance, and carry on with some beautiful side surfing around that corner. I think that was just what the doctor ordered for the Brummies and their fans.
So we have 15 seconds left in this game. On the jammer line, the Roller Derby City jammer line, we have Rectangle.
And he is up against Flustercluck for the Expendables 3D.
Not the first time these two jammers have paired off against each other.
Flustercluck awarded lead jammer status, but Rectangle out of the pack super fast. That may be the quickest he's got out of the pack in this game, and he is chasing down Fluster.
Nipping at his toes as he goes.
Nom 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 nom.
Ready to face Flustercluck. Flustercluck managing to juke around the hips. Gets around the pack, picking up 4 points and calls off the jam. 7 seconds left. We may not, well, we won't get another jam. I don't think we'll get start. I don't think we'll even get our 5-second call. As we said before, there we go. These games are literally running to the 30 minutes. Ladies and gents, unofficial final score, 15 to the Crash Test Brummies, 146 to the Expendables 3D. I've been Snoogans. And I've been Robert Cortiguez. Thank you very much for watching BEARDi 2014. There are still plenty of games to come.